You are applying the logic of a video game to your own face. Max out your build, optimize your stats, find the upgrades, level up. The language came from gaming. The instinct is older than that. The specific cultural moment that turned it into a 26 billion view TikTok category is new. And the pipeline from the innocent end of it to the dark end of it is shorter than anyone looking at the surface level would guess. This is every level of maxing. From the teenager who started mewing after a YouTube video to the person who flew to Turkey for a surgery they found on Reddit. Let's go. Level 1, Normie-Maxxing. You are 15, you are on TikTok. The algorithm knows you paused on a fitness video. It knows you watched a before and after twice. It has been building a picture of your insecurities with more precision than you have. The video that starts everything is a transformation. A guy your age holding up an old photo next to his current face. The difference is real. Better skin, stronger jaw. He attributes it to things that sound manageable. Skincare, posture, protein, mewing. You look up mewing, press your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Encourages forward facial growth. Stronger jawline. The American Association of Orthodontists has issued formal warnings that there is no scientific evidence it works in adults. The mewing TikToks have 250 million views. You start mewing anyway. It costs nothing. You are 15 and the possibility that a free thing you can do with your tongue while watching television might improve your face is worth trying. This is the innocent end of the pipeline. Most people stay here. You try it for 3 weeks and forget about it. Most people never go further. You do. Level 2, Softmaxxing. You have a skincare routine now. Cleanser, moisturizer, SPF. You go to the gym 3 times a week. You are eating more protein than before, sleeping properly, drinking the water. The forums and the videos all say the same thing. The basics compound. Lepi affects cortisol. Cortisol affects fat distribution. Fat distribution affects the face. Hydration affects skin quality. None of this is radical. None of this requires a credit card or a medical consultation. You have a better haircut, not because someone told you to, because you researched which face shapes suit which cuts, found yours, and booked the appointment with that brief. The barber was slightly startled by how much information you arrived with. Your friends have started commenting. You look different, they say. Better, some of them say. You file this as data. This is the level where most of the positive case for maxing lives. Eating better, sleeping better, exercising, taking care of your skin. These are not pathological behaviors. These are a baseline. The term Softmaxxing loaded them with a community that is sometimes toxic, but the behaviors themselves are fine. The problem is what comes next. Level 3, Mirrormaxxing. The problem is what the community does to your perception. You found the forums, the places where the vocabulary is specific and the stakes feel enormous. You learned the PSL scale, 1 to 10, a Giga Chad at the theoretical peak. A face of such extraordinary genetic symmetry, it exists more as an ideal than a reality. You are somewhere in the mid-range, a 4 maybe, a 5 if you're being generous with your canthal tilt. Canthal tilt. You know what this is now. The angle of your eye from inner to outer corner. Positive tilt means the outer corner is higher. Considered masculine, predatory, attractive. You have spent 11 minutes on 3 separate occasions this week with a ruler held to a mirror measuring yours. It is marginally negative. You have read 4 forum posts about surgical corrections for this. Hunter eyes, deep set, hooded, positive canthal tilt. You have none of it. You have prey eyes, wide open, visible sclera. You have looked at your own eyes in a mirror more times in the last month than in the previous 17 years combined. You post your face on a rating thread. Anonymous. You wait. You are a 4.5. The comments note your negative canthal tilt. Your forward growth is decent. Your skin is good. Your jawline lacks definition but is improvable. Someone says you have potential. You screenshot this and look at it twice before you sleep. A clinical psychologist researching this community has noted that the measuring, the mirror checking, the numerical rating of your own face overlaps heavily with the symptomatology of body dysmorphic disorder. Not a clinical diagnosis. An overlap. The community calls this pathologizing self-improvement. The psychologist calls it what it looks like. Level 4, Hardmaxxing. Mewing has not changed your face in 8 months. You press your tongue to the roof of your mouth with the consistency of a person who set a reminder on their phone. You have read the counter-arguments from the community that disputes the orthodontic consensus. You are choosing to believe the counter-arguments. You have started chewing mastic gum, harder than regular gum, marketed explicitly to the Looksmaxxing community. Your masseters are slightly more defined, or you think they are. You are not entirely sure if you are seeing a real change or the change you expected to see. You book a filler consultation, jawline filler, not surgery, an injection. The practitioner is professional. She explains the risks. Vascular occlusion, the most serious complication, can cause tissue death or in rare cases blindness. These are rare. The results last a year or two. You go ahead. After the swelling resolves, you look at yourself and something that has been tense in you for 8 months releases slightly. You post new photos on the rating thread. You are now a 5, possibly a 5.5. You book an appointment to discuss surgical correction for the canthal tilt. Level 5, Surgerymaxxing. The canthal tilt surgery is a canthoplasty, a procedure that repositions the outer corner of the eye to create a positive tilt. It is a real surgery performed by real surgeons. The Looksmaxxing community did not invent it. The Looksmaxxing community did, in the last 3 years, drive a significant increase in demand for it among even young men aged 15 to 25. You travel for the surgery, not because it is unavailable domestically, because the surgeon whose before and afters you have studied for 4 months practices in Istanbul, and his results on the forum are documented with the rigor that people in this community apply to surgical outcomes. You have read more about canthoplasty than most medical students have. You have memorized the failure modes. The recovery is 2 weeks. Swelling, bruising, sensitivity to light. The specific discomfort of your eyes feeling wrong in a way that is temporarily alarming. The result is real. The outer corners of your eyes sit higher. The tilt is positive. You are, by the metric the community uses, closer to the ideal. You feel better. This is the uncomfortable truth nobody who critiques this world fully grapples with. The surgery resolved the specific obsession and the resolution feels like relief. The relief is real. The question is what you notice next, because there is always something next. The forum makes sure of that. Level 6, Geomaxxing. You have discovered Geomaxxing, the logical extension of Looksmaxxing into geography. The theory is that attractiveness is culturally relative. Your specific phenotype, your coloring, your facial structure, your height is perceived differently in different countries. The formula: find the place where you are the most attractive version of yourself to the largest number of people who might be interested in you. Identify the variable. Optimize the variable. Relocate. This is where the thread connecting maxing to the wider manosphere becomes visible. Geomaxxing is not about self-improvement. It is about relocating the self to a more favorable market. The language of market is not an accident. Sexual market value. The phrase is used in this community with the neutrality of an economics textbook. You are a product. The market determines your price. You now think about your interactions with women in terms of your SMV and whether the environment is calibrated for your assets. This is not a framework that produces good relationships. It is a framework that produces transactions. The shift happened gradually, across months in the forums, and you did not notice it happening. Level 7, Blackpill-Maxxing. You have been on the forums long enough to know who the regulars are. This is where Looksmaxxing began. Before TikTok, before the mainstream, the incel communities on lookism and the forums that preceded it. The PSL scale was invented here. The vocabulary was built here. The ideology lives here in its most concentrated and least diluted form. The ideology at this level is not about self-improvement. The black pill says attraction is genetic, fixed, and hierarchical. A small number of men at the top receive almost all romantic attention. Everyone below a certain threshold is categorically excluded regardless of what they do. Self-improvement cannot cross the genetic divide. The structure is immutable. From the black pill, the conclusions range from resignation to something darker. LDAR. Lay down and rot. Some members of these communities have crossed from resignation to violence. The manifesto, published by a man who killed 6 people in California in 2014, used this vocabulary explicitly. The community has a complex relationship with these events. Some condemn them, some do not. The community that coined the term subhuman for men below a certain attractiveness threshold, and the community that produced people who killed others they blamed for their exclusion are not the same community and are not entirely different communities either. The pipeline is real. The distance between the entry level and this level is measurable and has been measured. Level 8, Deprogrammaxxing. You got bored of the forums, not because you found peace, because the goalpost kept moving. There is always something else to fix. The canthal tilt leads to the hunter eyes, surgery leads to the chin implant, leads to the jaw surgery, leads to your skull structure, which is not something surgery can currently address without a procedure. So extreme the forum itself calls it too far. The machine produces the next thing to optimize. It does this reliably. It does not have a winning condition. It has an engagement condition. You found the exit slowly. You started reading the clinical research. A 2024 study in the journal Body Image found that 10 minutes of exposure to idealized social media images measurably reduced body appreciation and self-esteem. You were getting hours of that daily and had been for 2 years. You started tracking how you felt before and after forum sessions. The data was consistent. Worse after, every time. You deleted the apps, not the skincare, not the gym, not the protein. The parts actually making you healthier stayed. Just the rating threads, the forums, the content that was not about improving your life, but about evaluating your face against a standard designed to always find it lacking. The mirror is different now, not because your face changed, because what you are looking for when you look in it changed. You are not measuring your canthal tilt. You are looking at your face the way you looked at it before you ever heard the word maxing. Briefly, then you get on with your day. That is the exit, not dramatic. Just the decision to stop feeding the machine your attention. The machine continues without you. Running on the insecurity of young men told in 1,000 different ways that their face is capital and their capital is insufficient. You are 22 years old. You have had filler and a surgery and spent more time looking at your own face in the last 2 years than in the previous 19 combined. You get on with your day. That's the whole ending.